Over the weekend, I went to watch my son play up in Guelph.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I loved it, and we brought our little grandbaby with us, and kind of the whole family went. We had a really nice weekend. Got to see Charlie a little bit outside of just at the rink and stuff, so it was nice. Went to the Billett's house one night after a youth hockey game that their son plays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to see our Charlie's billet brother play hockey. It was nice, good little hockey player. He's coming down here for the summer, by the way.
Oh, is he? Cool.
Yeah, for like maybe a week or two or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great kid. He's really excited. Keeps asking. That's all he did. So they opened up their Christmas presents finally because we were finally down there to have
Family Christmas.
Yeah, so they have the two kids have new PowerTech sweatshirts and toques, and Brett, Charlie's billet, said that he will not take that off now. Guaranteed. So he's been sending me pictures. That's all he wears now.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but what I wanted to talk about this was we had some time to go and watch Patrick, the 11-year-old or 12-year-old son, play hockey. So they're playing against Niagara Falls, and decent little hockey game. But this goes back to a podcast we had about like parents just like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? So we were behind the net, whoever's net it was, doesn't matter. And just around around the glass, on the other side of the glass to my right was one of the parents, big guy.
On your team?
Well, I didn't have a team. I was just watching.
Yeah.
So let's say my team. If I was
Yeah.
cheering for some, I was cheering for Patrick. So on that team, going nuts.
Yeah.
Like the whole game yelling. And I don't think he was going nuts like in a bad way. I think he's just like cheering like extremely hard, and maybe because I don't really pay attention, but all I know is every couple of minutes I'd go like, wow, you're nuts. you're nuts, like you're going crazy. But people get so offended by it, right? And I guess rightly so. So whatever, the game's over, and someone says, oh, I got to check out what's going on here because there was like becoming a fight. So I guess there's a little bit of animosity between the coach on the other team. And I guess he calls out some players, and he's another pretty big guy. He was actually a very, very big guy.
The other team's coach is calling out players?
Yeah, calls out players.
11-year-olds.
I'm not going to say the words that he's used, but So I'm like, what the hell?
Goof.
So after the game, like there's a scrum, and they're yelling the coach and this other guy, and he said, you made Mike, the coach said you made one of our kids cry and stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they're having this big fight, and it's crazy. So it gets broken up and stuff, and you think, okay, it's over. Like, separate yourselves, all right, whatever. So as the kids are walking out, this coach is along the wall, and kids are walking out with a couple parents, and he starts up again. I'm like, what are you doing? My point is this hockey environment, I don't understand why people get so nuts. Like, absolutely nuts. Like, so I'll give you another example. So we had, when Charlie played in Major Bantam, we had a couple mouthpieces on our team, dads. So the one was getting like he gets into it. He was telling me one day because he was bugging the coach on the other team. He was over the glass yelling and screaming and giving it to the other team's coach. So he told me how he thought it was funny and it's getting escalated and stuff. So I said, I love it. Like, I love the humor of it because I don't understand where a dad feels like this is appropriate. An adult.
Yeah, funny in a laughing at it way, not
laughing at you. Like, this is hilarious. Like, I'm laughing at the behavior of an adult male at a 14-year-old hockey game. So, sure enough, that night, he egged on a coach, followed him out to the parking lot, and then got his ass kicked. I wasn't around.
Yeah.
Got beaten. So at the end result was he couldn't watch his son for the rest of the year. And that was like months.
Yeah.
And his son saw part of it. Oh, that's smart. Right?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So the other side of that is that you'd never know when someone's going to snap back and actually hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just not appropriate. You got kids, you got like, you know, it's not a bar either. It's just like, why?
Yeah. For what? Man, I remember when in minor hockey for me, all the time there was something going on, whether you could hear someone's mom screaming in the crowd or there's a fight in the lobby after the game or whatever. We had one, I remember we were in Hamilton and we were playing the Hamilton Bulldogs and they had a kid on their team that was a stud. He was real good. He was drafted like 4th overall or something, like really good player. And a guy on our team, end of the game, we were down 5-1, 6-1, whatever. And this kid tried to do like a between the legs kind of move with like a minute to go, and we had one of these big meathead defensemen on our team, and the kid on our team dropped his stick, grabbed the kid by the hips, and threw him into the glass.
Which, by the way, has nothing to do with the parents.
Nothing to do with the parents.
The parents have nothing to say about
Right.
that.
So we had a line brawl because of that, and the goalies came and fought each other.
Yeah.
So that was that. We go out after the game, and I'm just finishing getting undressed. Some of the guys were already out, and one of our guys comes running back in the room and says, "There's a fight in the lobby right now. Like, you guys gotta get out here." So everyone like hurries to finish getting changed, whatever. We run out, and there's the parents are nose to nose,
Of course.
grabbing each other. There's a mom that has her cell phone up saying she's gonna call the cops and all this kind of stuff. She actually ended up calling the cops, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what the heck happened? So apparently the kid's dad that got tossed was going after the kid that tossed him in the lobby. After the kid? After the kid. So the kid on our team that grabbed their stud player and tossed him, the kid's dad was going after the guy on our team in the lobby, like starting yelling at him and like chirping him and whatever. So then, of course, our dads, some of the dads on our team,
you can't pick on a kid.
Yeah. So they ended up getting in a fight. There was a full-on fight. We had one of our players, who is like not the best person ever, punched one of their dads in the face in the lobby, and that started like a dad fight in the lobby. So we got dads fighting dads, kids fighting parents, players fighting players. It was like, what the hell is going on? And it was because Joe Dad had to start yapping at a kid in the lobby. And it's like, man, I know that you think your kid's the best player in the whole world. The kid doesn't play hockey anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's like, how about we just tone it down a little bit?
Yeah.
In what world is that appropriate to do? Like, let the kids do what they're going to do
incredible.
on the ice, man. Like,
there's something about the arena and their kids. Like we just talked about it last week's podcast about the mother kind of telling my wife that we're not supposed to sit here and all that stuff. And it's like,
what are you talking about?
Okay.
I would actually be curious if people, because hockey is the domain. Like, I played baseball too growing up. I played AAA baseball, so equivalent competitiveness level. It was nowhere near. And maybe I stopped playing baseball when I was like 13. So maybe as I would have got older, maybe it would get more aggressive or something. I don't know. Yeah. But I would be curious to hear if anyone has other sports. I'm sure similar things happen. But the consistency with which it happens in hockey is unbelievable. Because it happens right from house league 3-on-3 tournament all the way up to draft year. Yeah. Toronto Marlies tournament games.
It just looks like Charlie's pulled up some crazy dads.
Yeah, I know.
We just laugh, but it's like no one's looking at it and going, "Wow, that's a tough guy." You look like a complete fool.
Yeah, you still have to see the one where the guy breaks.
Yeah.
Way to go, Paul.
So proud of himself.
So funny.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that's something I just don't get it, don't understand. I just if I have a suggestion is just stand as far away from everybody as you can. Just watch the game, keep the booth shut.
Yeah.
And don't say anything.
I know.
It's just a kid's game, man.
Sorry, and just one more thing. We've said this before, but just a reminder to the parents, especially as the kids get older and hockey gets more serious and more competitive, people watch the parents too. Like, we were talking about it.
Yeah, I was telling you the other day about the one guy.
Yeah, and I was telling you when I was at the 07 game, I'm watching the parents to see who's going nuts. Yeah. And then we talk about it, and then we talk to whoever calls about which players and whatever.
Well,
and,
so funny, eh? I don't know if this will change anything, but anyways, I was talking to one of the New Jersey scouts the other day, and we were talking about a player that plays in Europe, and he goes, the dad's been banned from the arenas. It's because the kid's drafter. He's like top 10 in the NHL draft, most likely, maybe earlier. And he goes, the dad's a complete whack job. Kicked out of the rinks in Europe. Come on. Like,
so it's an unnecessary red flag now for the kid. Yeah. Like, you're costing your kid because we talk about this stuff. Like, it ends up sounding so cliche sometimes when you talk to kids and you're saying the messages that people always say, like, you never know who's looking and all this kind of stuff, but it's actually true. Especially now that I'm starting to get into this kind of situation with you where I can hear the conversations and I'm on the phone and I'm talking to the people that actually ask the questions. They ask, like, what are their parents like?
My God, all the time.
All this, they always are asking, what are the parents like? Because that's like a huge.
The only way that it doesn't matter is if you're just that good.
That's right. Well, that's always the caveat too.
That's always the caveat.